Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. We've got our whole star-studded panel. Harry Glanz on the line. We got a great panel, Harry. Let me introduce it real quick. We got everyone on. Lisa Lawson.
Morning, everybody.
Hey, there you are. Becky Alley's on there.
Hey, good morning.
And Michelle Saward.
Brave.
All right. Michelle Saward, eXp Realty. Michelle, where are you? You're on a remote location. Where are you?
I am. I decided I decided to travel, and I'm in Fort Myers, Florida.
All right.
But regularly from Michigan, regularly from downriver.
You're right here, Michelle. No problem at all. Hey, we're going to take your calls. 1 hour worth of the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 248-539-9797. We're excited to bring you the show because real estate is booming in Southeast Michigan. It's booming across the United States, Michelle. And tell us what's been going on the last week or so, or since the 7th.
No,
how are you?
How's it going today?
This is exactly why I'm in Florida, Harvey.
Running late.
Is that real estate agents were deemed essential on May 7th. Prior to May 7th, every other aspect of the mortgage business and real estate business could transact, but the real estate agent wasn't able to show property or meet face-to-face with clients. And so after that was lifted, we sold, well, myself and my buyer's agent sold 19 homes in 10 days. And
that's crazy.
So it was a wild ride. And I decided, you know what, time to get out there and, start, going at it again hard. I'm going to take a little breather and take a couple days off over the holiday and jump right back on the horse on Tuesday. So it's, we started off this with a low inventory prior to COVID-19. It turned into an inventory problem. And for those folks that left their home on the market during COVID-19, they were there the minute these gates opened, got their offers because that buyer demand was still present, still there. And they're very happy, within the first 10 days of the release of the COVID-19 agents being essential again. So, that's where we're at. We're still seeing, even through the holiday, a pretty healthy buying season right now.
We'll definitely talk about that inventory. Go ahead, Beck.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so like you're traveling. Okay, so this is your first time kind of leaving and fleeing the coop since all this craziness has been two and a half months going on. So I want to hear from you, what has the traveling experience been like, and how does that coincide with what is it like with the new guidelines to make sure people are viewing homes safely?
Yeah, totally. I'd like to be I'd like to pilot programs, I guess. I'll be the guinea pig for the world. It's fine. We just, look, it's been a long winter for us, and then an extended, homebound situation. I'm sure a lot of the public is feeling like either they want to get out of their house, they want a change of scenery, they want to do something different. So we jumped on an airplane. I don't think they would mind me saying we flew Delta Airlines out of Detroit, direct to Fort Myers. It was probably the healthiest, cleanest experience we've had traveling. Right. The airport was maybe 30-40% full. Everyone was wearing face masks in the airport. There was a fella in line, like getting his ticket and so forth, the scan coming in, and they wouldn't let him walk down the gangplank, gangway, whatever it is, until he put his face mask on. And the minute you board, they give you hand sanitizers. And then they don't serve food. They do, but they put it in a bag with a bottle of water, and you get your chips or your granola bar. And then they say, put your garbage back in that bag. Don't put your garbage in the seat. They sat everyone, if there's 6 seats to a row, they were sitting only 3 people to a row. People did respect space, even, boarding. There was space between people waiting in line. Nobody really wanted
Michelle,
to be.
Are you already recharged? You're already recharged and ready to go.
24 hours in the sand, I feel great. That's all I need.
Hey, the evidence shows that people have been cooped up in their house. It's really interesting. There's an interesting change of trends. As we were moving towards these, the city life and smaller homes, now we've changed the trend. And a snap of the finger, John Kolb, you're on the line now. Now people are saying, wait a minute, I want to get out to the country a little bit more, John Kolb. I want to get out there where there's a lake and a golf course and I need a little bit more room in house for my office and my workout room.
Yeah, it was. We got on the road on Thursday to get up north, and I have a place that's just north of where all the dams broke, and fortunately we were in good shape and and safe. But it was busy Thursday afternoon on the roads on 75 getting up here. It was really busy, and I'm sure it was yesterday. And it's great to see people out and about and still being safe, still social distancing. And I got a new neighbor up here, and we didn't get to shake hands, but we did talk from 10 feet away. And it's just it's really good to see, to get out and talk to people and enjoy a little bit of normalcy.
Hey, Michelle Saward.
Oh, that's all? No big deal. Yes. Yeah, so what Harry's saying is who you're working with does matter. I mean, I will attest to this. I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but I've had 2 offers accepted. Agents called me personally and said, we know you. We've heard good things about you. We took your offer. It wasn't the high. Your buyer wasn't the highest, but we know that you guys are going to get it done. So in a situation like this, and Michelle can attest to this, especially because she's huge on the buy side, she's huge on the sell side, who you work with and who is written on that piece of paper as far as your lending institution does matter in such a competitive market.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think it's important that they know they can get a hold of us, right? There's all these other online type companies, and you go to call them and you get a voicemail or you don't get a call back. And I think the reason realtors appreciate us is we take the call and we call them back. We let them know this is the status of the file. This is the strength of the pre-approval. And I think that's so important in making a smooth process.
Yeah. I was going to say something else that matters now that wasn't ever really a factor or a condition in selling real estate before, was getting the permission of the buyer to share some of their personal information. What do they do for work? We didn't talk about that before. Is their employment stable? Like, these are things that real estate agents are now asking coming into the transaction. I asked a lender if they would put on the pre-approval, with the permission of the buyer, what their credit score is. Like, can we talk about that? So, he just sent an email with permission of the buyer and said, these people have a 720 credit score. I feel comfortable and confident. But the buyer did give permission for that. So I'm not saying release that information without consent, but these are the important factors right now, because look, I mean, people have been laid off for quite a while. Many people have been, and so they're having to requalify again. But for those people that are stable, they're really stable employment, great credit, nothing material change. It's competitive, and with the rates, oh my gosh, did I just hear, you guys have to confirm this. Did they drop again? Aren't they like crazy low again now or something?
We just keep selling the same marketing stuff. They're at all-time lows. They're at all-time lows.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll shut up. Fine.
Hey,
no, everyone is all-time lows.
They are low.
Michelle, I like what you brought up.
I'm just saying they're just low. The end. Okay, we're done.
Michelle, I like what you brought up about getting reapproved and making sure and sharing without being too giving away everything about you personally and keeping your rights, your privacy rights. A little bit of information, sharing a little bit of information to get that house accepted is a great way to fly. Why not? Why not get everyone on board with honesty? I mentioned it earlier this week, the honesty, truth, and the communication. Boy, you mix all those into a strong purchase agreement, you'll get your offer accepted.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, we're up against our first break already. All right, we got Michelle Saward on from eXp Realty. She's got tons to share with us. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Hi, Harry Glanz and Danberg from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hi, Harry Glanz and Danberg from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Welcome back to show 915. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We are powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289. That's where you can reach us all week at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker, the equal housing lender. Harry was reminding me, and there's no doubt, sometimes we don't even do these Memorial Day weekend shows because we give guys a little bit of rest, but the market is just out of control, busy. There's a lot of people signing their names on purchase agreements without reading them. We've got Michelle Saward on from eXp Realty, a real pro out there who can give us some insight of what's going on out there in the marketplace. Michelle, we started talking about also the inventory out there. So folks who left their homes on the marketplace, and of course, the governor just extended our sort of, we're not quite back to normal here either. We're locked down again till June 12th or whatever. But Michelle, you talk a little bit about the inventory. out there. The folks that left their house on the market, those houses got all swallowed up.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a little shortage right now because you said we have to get people comfortable with today's business ways. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more about it.
No, yeah, you're right. Actually, just heard news this morning that we're now extended, I think, until June 12th was the word on the street. And so real estate became essential May 7th. Honestly, May 7th was a Thursday that didn't really, just because we as real estate agents were ready and home sellers were excited and ready, didn't mean that buyers were ready. It took probably, that was a Thursday, it took at least until a Monday, Tuesday before the world got wind of, okay, you can, be boots on the ground again, go in and out of property and go look for yourself. It doesn't all need to be virtual. So what we put into place, and even now that real estate agents are essential, we're still respecting people's space and where they are. So if someone is very concerned about this virus and is not comfortable opening their doors, no problem. We can still do virtual showings. We're doing showings through FaceTime, on your phone. We're doing showings, recording stuff, putting it on YouTube, sharing any bit of information that we can. I'm doing Zoom calls with buyers for virtual walkthroughs. So if a homeowner is not comfortable having people in or buyer's not comfortable going in, those things can be arranged with ease. The rules for showing appointments now, no more than 4 people, period, at a time walking through the house, no overlapping showing appointments, no open houses, must wear a face mask and gloves. We give instructions to homeowners, leave every door open interior in your house so no one has to touch anything. Leave every light on. That no one has a reason to touch a light switch. So if you are, I know hand sanitizer wipes are, hard to come by, but if you have those, great. But I promise you, almost every single real estate agent you're talking to has got hand sanitizers in their pockets. I carry extra face masks in my car. Some people don't know. I had an out-of-state seller pull up to, see a property, and he didn't realize what the rules were. So we have those on hand in our vehicle for you. So it's just that continue to stay safe, through June 12th. At least now this is how we're operating for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Harvey.
I was going to say, I had a client just the other day who showed up to a showing and had not met their agent yet. Everything was done over email, phone, everything. And the client showed up with masks and everything. The agent showed up, flip-flops, no masks, no gloves, anything. And, the client decided to use a different agent because they didn't feel safe. They thought that the agent was shirking his responsibilities and not informing them of what they should be doing to be safe and to walk through a home the right way, like you were saying. And Jason, I think it's important to work with a professional like you who is going to do something like that.
Jason, that's so important because little things mean a lot. I think Harry said it earlier, but if you're not showing up with a face mask and you're not following protocol in showing property, how well are they going to follow protocol writing a contract?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if flip-flops are ever good. Even if you're selling a house in Hawaii, I'm not sure if that's proper attire to be signing a contract. But with that being said, hey, we'll take all your calls here this morning, 248-539-9797. Always 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Show. We answer your questions if you're buying a house. Hey, refinancing. Yeah, that's sort of a happening thing right now. Mortgage rates at all-time lows, as you've heard. And again, there's a lot of opportunities out there. But it's just not about the interest rate. So often are we seeing our clients that are calling and the borrowers searching for better answers and more education on the whole entire process. You guys all know it. We've seen so many families being able to not only lower the rate, drop their term, but maybe even consolidate debt and take advantage of some of the equity that's in their homes. Again, lots of opportunities out there in the mortgage world, whether it be purchasing a house or refinancing a house. Michelle, some other trends out there, I talked about it. I sort of touched on it. People were hunkered down. So the living space has changed. So maybe it's a little bit different now. Maybe you are looking for that extra bedroom that could be a den or an office space on the first floor. Or maybe now it is more important to have that basement, that extra level where we can get rid of the kids or throw them downstairs or transform into a school. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that are transforming out there in the real estate world.
I'm smiling and I'm laughing because I call that the getaway space. The getaway. I just need a getaway space. Looks like Becky's in her getaway space right now.
I'm in my getaway space for sure.
She's in her basement tonight or today. Yeah. So that has changed so much. I mean, people realize if this could happen again, and if it happens again, I'm going to be somewhere I enjoy. Yeah. And that functions no matter what is going on in the world. So we're certainly seeing a trend towards that. Another thing that for me, and I think a lot of real estate agents, people got caught, quote unquote, with their pants down during COVID-19. Nobody expected the timing of it. And I had many families that had sold their house. They're married with kids, they're, in their 40s or whatever. And they ended up moving in with family members because they were on the house hunt and then couldn't hunt anymore. So, that was part of this, I think, initial wave. But I think that, the demand for, God, I can't even imagine the number of divorces, but, during COVID-19, I'm sure. But yeah, the needs for housing have changed. John, you got a new neighbor up north. That could have happened in the past 30 days where people say, you know what? If this is going to happen to me again, I'm going to be at the lake.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
It's true. Those up north properties are coming in. You're going to probably be more of a factor because if you've been on that fence and you're like, I need somewhere to escape to. I know friends of mine, they have been literally hunkered down in their lake homes this whole entire time because why not?
Well, just think about all the research now that you have to do about any area that you're going to be purchasing in. Like I said, I'm just north of the terrible things that happened in Midland and Edenville and everything like that. But that those properties that were on Wixom Lake in Edenville, if you bought something in the last year or two, you should have probably investigated the dam, because that dam has been under suspect with the commission for a long, long time. And unfortunately, that dam failed, which caused all these problems in Midland. And it's one of those things like how much research do you have to do to into a community, into the house, into everything, to make sure that you're getting into a home that's not going to cause you issues down the road. And it's just we're learning so much this year. You see all these signs saying, go away 2020, but we are learning so much this year about different things and what to think about and how to move forward with the new normal, as we always keep saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, John, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
What on the mortgage side, are you hearing anything about what may change on the financial end of it, or what might be coming down the pipe in the future? I know it's early with what happened with all the floods, but is there any talk about how things may change? The value of lake properties.
First of all, Michelle, that's a great question. Back in the beginning of April, there were a lot of changes due to what was going on with all the unemployment and record unemployment filing. So lenders really, they tightened up credit boxes. They tightened up loan to value and down payment boxes. But we're seeing that liquidity come back right now, slowly return to the marketplace. That's number one. Number two, with regard to the flooding in Midland, when there is a disaster like this, especially flooding and water damage and things like that, then Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, the federal government agencies always put in precautions and what you have to do. You might not be able to close on a transaction for a while until they see the results of what happens and how much damage there is there. So to your point, if you're in the middle of that transaction, what happens? Chances are you're not going to close. That's what's really going to happen. And also, we're seeing in going back to the last part of what you had asked, about people changing their living habits, more employers right now are offering all of their team members the opportunity to permanently work at home. Twitter came out with it. They're never having anybody come back to the office. Other companies are allowing that stay-at-home option. We are at stay-at-home right now and work from home for going on now 12 weeks. And there are going to be some people that might not feel comfortable coming back, but it doesn't matter, because in an electronic environment, and we're lucky, we're blessed that in an electronic environment, you don't need to have that kind of interaction and be on top of each other. We're fortunate that we can be in an industry that has not been interrupted. So with all these things going on, and I believe I want to get out of 2020, but we have to do it very slowly. We have to allow people to come back. The real estate market was hit very hard in Michigan and the states that it was locked down. It's slowly coming out, and that's what's going to happen when people want to return to work. I know there's a rush to do it. And then with what's going on in Midland, that's going to be a very slow process coming out of that too. So that's really what's going on in the financial marketplace as well.
A little reminder out there to do your due diligence for sure. Good points, Harry and John Kolb. Definitely keep it here on 97.1 The Tick. When we come back, your home purchase, all the things you need to look out for right when we come back.
Hi, Harry Glanz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, welcome back to the show. It is 9:30 out there, May 23rd, 2020, Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. You have to get out on the waterways. Enjoy yourself. Be careful. We are shut down still here in the state. Of course, some of the areas are allowing us to go and about. If you get up north, you definitely can hit some of the bars and restaurants, but you got to be from that area. So definitely follow all the rules and be safe here. All right. Hey, we got Michelle Saward on from eXp Realty. And we definitely want to hear from you guys. 930-248-539-9797. Call Capital Mortgage Funding all day long if you want to talk with us, if you need that strong approval letter. And we'll talk about approval letters because many of the offers that we're seeing out there, we're getting a lot of clients calling us, real estate agents calling us. And some of the clients don't have their ducks in a row. We use that term quite a bit, but you need to have your funds in order to close, guys. And that's one of the things that we want to urge all the buyers out there to really be in a competitive market like we have, Michelle. You got to be able to close in 30 days. You can't be scrambling. You can't be in a position where you have to sell a car in order to buy the house, or even if you have to sell your existing home. So a little bit about contingencies and really having yourself in a prepared method where you're ready to go and close on that house.
Well, yeah, and that prepared method is, I think, much more comprehensive now than it's ever been. Definitely. I mean, the world is watching. I mean, there's so much going on right now with people who were unemployed. I know. Okay, watch this, Harry. I pay attention to what you talk about. Forbearance and deferments. And
somebody does, Michelle. Somebody listens to him.
Enough credit. This is a big topic for him. So, unemployment, people's down payments have shrunk. I think we're going to start to see quite a rise in rental properties. The demand for rental properties going up because that first-time home buyer market, I think, is shrunk, and the first-time home buyer market is what dominoes the rest of the trends. I mean, we need those first-time home buyers coming in. That might be a little bit of a stall coming back. I think we're going to have financially, of course, you got to have your cards in order, no question about that. But I think, as we come into the fall, we're going to start to see a better indication of how some of these factors are going to play out going into next year. But right now it's still hot, and things are still moving.
I think before the break, John made an excellent point where he was talking about, this occurrence has made us, we had to be awake. I feel like we've been walking around like zombies, just kind of taking things for granted, going through the motions. And, this kind of, coming and sweeping the rug up from everyone, it made us have to pay attention. Real estate agents, like you're saying, you have to be more involved. You're vetting your buyers more. You're not just throwing offers against the wall and just seeing what sticks. I mean, you're holding the lenders accountable. The buyers are being held accountable. The sellers are being held accountable to make sure that they're providing a safe environment. And then it's also made real estate agents have to kind of get a little bit more creative as far as when this was down, how are you selling a house? What are you doing to represent your clients to make them feel safe in an unsafe environment where there's so much uncertainty? And that's why I love when you're on every time, Michelle, because you bring this fresh perspective. You always are out there on the front lines, innovating different things. And, and I think that the fact that you're able to lead your team to a point where you're putting these houses on and you're having that success, that is a testament to your professionalism in this crazy 2020 that we're now experiencing. I think for sure, it's just my hats off to you for sure.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to say, I sold real estate during the down economy. I started in 2001. So this is not my first, battle, I guess, of going to real estate war, with massive changes going on right now. So that it didn't come without a price, that's for sure. And, I think that's going to be really important going forward, is that realtors are going to have to spend much more time getting educated about what these changes are. Harry was talking before the break about how it's going to take some time, where flood insurance requirements for the state of Michigan are probably going to change, like some of the areas, I'm sure, with the flooding and what's happening in Midland. They're going to be looking at, okay, what's the value of waterfront now if there's a dam? Like, some of this stuff is going to, financially, we're going to be looking at, okay, what kind of pickle did people get themselves in, or find themselves in, is a better actually way to put it, during COVID-19. We're going to need to be just perpetual students, even on the mortgage end of it. Like, if you're working with someone in your transaction that is not a growth, perpetual learning mindset, game over. Just move on.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Remember, just the beginning of this year, Michelle, was just great way to start 2020. I mean, January and February is probably the best January and February I could remember of all time. So a really nice start right at the beginning of the year. And of course, all of this transpired. So hopefully a better start for the second half of the year. We'll see how things transpire. Like you said, it's going to be really interesting to see how it all shakes out there. And more due diligence on the buyer's side. Definitely understanding things like association information. Is there a situation with the dam if you're buying on a lake? This is some big time information. But also, roads are having to be redone in a lot of subdivisions. So just as you might have thought you were buying a house with a lake in the backyard, and then tomorrow it's maybe a creek. Well, the same thing goes if you're buying a house and the roads are all torn up. This could be a really large expense on your house. So again, having a game plan, Michelle, you said it, knowledge. the people you're working with better have some knowledge. It's not all about the basics. And there is a difference. Real estate agents and mortgage bankers like us, we are not a commodity. We're individuals that you need on your team. We're teammates to make sure you make some great decisions. And I think that's some light on that. Is definitely getting some knowledge behind you. If you're moving to a subdivision, if you're moving to a condominium, if you're moving on the water, find out what's going on. What's the talk of the land over there?
Well, yeah, for sure. You know, even grows yield, the bridge is down. I mean, flood insurance, there's a lot of people that, need flood insurance, but they don't. But here's the thing. You don't need the insurance until you do. So if you're in a position where unfortunately we as humans, we like to learn the hard way.
You don't know what you don't know, Beck. No, that's a great point out there. Well, you can only get flood insurance if you're in the flood zone. So people found out why they've been paying flood insurance pretty quickly. Getting that strong pre-approval. You guys continue the conversation. Keep going.
Hey, no, I was just going to say what Becky mentioned. It was like a sort of a wow thing is that there's two bridges on Grosse Ile Island, right? There's the free bridge and the pay bridge. And the pay bridge is charging money, period, to get on and off the island when the free one is closed. So I have worked with homeowners that have teenage kids. It's $5 round trip every time you go off and on the island. They were paying $550 a month in bridge fees because they had three teenagers, husband, wife, 3 kids, like $500, $600 a month. It was right around there. Just to go on and off. Come on. Okay. You can get a nice car for that. Another car. You could get a second home. You could get a rental property for that. Move off the island, buy a rental property, go up north near John Kolb, get a little 2-bedroom cottage.
But Michelle, there's a reason why that pay bridge may be operational and the free bridge is not, right? So maybe the pay bridge is more kept up than the free bridge is. And it's one of those things where you're just going to have to look into a community a little bit deeper. I feel for buyer's agents, and I know, Michelle, you do both, but buyer's agents are going to have to do so much, or should be doing so much more research for their clients about what's going on in the area. Is there a dam that's above you that could cause an issue down the road? It's a 100-year issue, but if you plan on keeping your house for a long, long period of time, something could happen. Look what happened with the flooding of 696, and when we had all that rain down in Southeast Michigan. Huntington Woods will never be the same. Every basement flooded. So it's these type of things that you're going to have, that agents are going to have to do, and lenders are going to have to do, appraisers are going to have to do a lot more research to make sure people understand what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah. John, this is important. We as real estate agents are licensed in the state of Michigan. I could potentially sell anywhere in the state of Michigan. And I'm probably going to get hate mail, even from people who may work at eXp Realty with me. I don't know. But these times are especially important to work with someone who has area market specific knowledge. So like you just said, was it Huntington Woods? Right?
Yeah.
John?
Huntington Woods, yep.
Huntington Woods. So I didn't know that. My office is in Trenton. I didn't know that about Huntington Woods. Yeah. And my God, even though I'm licensed in Michigan, if I was wrong.
Right. You don't want that hanging on your head, Michelle. You don't want that hanging on your head. And I will say this, we're lucky that we serve the entire state of Michigan and other areas, and that we know what's going on in those markets. And we have certain experts in certain areas. I could call Lisa Lawson anytime from Macomb County, Okay. I could talk to Becky with regard to her area. Now, do we do loans everywhere? Just like you could sell real estate everywhere? Of course we do. But we're lucky we have specialists in every area, and with specific programs, we have specialists. Can I call certain people in our office like John on rehab loans? Of course I can. VA loans? Of course we can. So I believe in this, and our team is tired, Michelle, of me saying this and them hearing, let's stick to our expertise and stay in our lane. So we want realtors to stay in their lane. We'll do our mortgage thing. And the best way, in the vernacular of what's going on today, you do you and we'll do us. And just be the best you, and we'll be the best us we could possibly be.
Oh, it's good stuff here. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. When we come back, all your calls, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Hi, Harry Glanz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, welcome back to the show, 945. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Call us at 1-800-LOW-RATE, best mortgage banker. Get that low interest rate on that new refinance. But better yet, deal with real professionals. A lot of families out there need to do other things on their mortgage. We talked about it a little bit ago. Do the math. It's one of our big questions. Did you do the math? We did the math for you. And we have to explain to you closing cost and interest rates and how you're going to pay yourself back and let us set you up for the most successful mortgage. 1-800-LOW-RATE. the best mortgage banker. Hey guys, we have a great panel here. We got Michelle Saward calling in from eXp Realty. Everyone's on remote. Lisa Lawson, John Kolb from up north a little bit, Harry Glanz from Oakland County, and Becky Alley down there in the downriver area, handling all of your calls at 248-539-9797. And Jim's on the board. He wants to take some calls here this morning. Hey, we said do your math. Math plays an important role in all transactions, funds to close, and making sure you understand everything from A to Z. It sets up Michelle and her entire staff for successful home ownership. Michelle, we've had some really fun things going on. Again, in between the last 2.5 months of chaos, we had a great beginning of the year, and we're starting to see maybe some families, they kept their jobs. Everything's been good on the job front for many people out there. So if that's the case, they are moving forward with home ownership. And again, we are talking about hopefully a vaccine in 2021 and all this good stuff. So I'd like to leave the last 15 minutes with a little bit more of the positive vibe and talk about some of those great buyer stories out there that we have.
Yeah, actually, I did not tell you to bring this up, Harvey. You're bringing this up.
I got some good stuff.
No, I said to a friend of mine yesterday, I was on the phone doing real estate on the beach. I know. And I said to him, look, I started selling hope back in 2006 during the down economy. This is what I do best. I sell hope to people. There are so many silver linings in this that we as real estate agents have learned from, can grow into. So many homeowners have learned massive lessons about where their values are. In terms of location, family, priorities, what's really important. Maybe some people are downsizing, moving to the country, getting out of the city, don't want to be on the other side of that damn bridge anymore, or on that side of that damn dam, right? So there's just a lot of movement going on right now. And, it's gonna realign people to it's forced everyone to reevaluate who they are, what do they want, and what are they about. So
we can only hope that's true, Michelle. We can only hope that's true.
It's back to the basics. And so you're realigning your priorities and realigning your priorities. I mean, a lot of people have made financial cuts budget wise to get them through this. Myself, I did some pullback on some spending, and through this, I realized how little I actually need to spend on some things. Look, I'm not wearing new spring summer wear, that's for sure right now. No, unless it's sent to my house through Amazon. But there's people I think are just going to realign, and I think we're forever going to be changed. And maybe into a more financially responsible consumer, going forward with these life lessons.
I agree with you. I mean, I feel like, we as a society sometimes had that mentality of bigger is better and all that. And now after this, it's like, I'm reevaluating some of my, what I was doing. I cut back on spending little things that you kind of don't take for granted. Amazon, like you're saying, come in someone's door every day. It's convenience, right? And when those conveniences are taking away a little bit, you kind of realize, well, do I really need that? Do I really need X, Y, Z? And I think that's a great point that, we've realized that we can now talk to people without having to be there in their faces. Sometimes I do miss the personal contact. I'm a social person, but this whole situation has allowed us to kind of just be in front of people all the time. And knowledge is power, but we're readapting. Like you said, real estate, you have expenses. Do you really need to have those expenses in your real estate agency? And maybe not, because here you are doing where you're at. You're here with us on the radio at the same time. I mean, I think technology has really kind of put us on the forefront for sure.
Hey, Becky, did you say bigger's not better? Not always at all. Cleaner's better. Cleaner. Society. Clean everything.
Yes.
Clean your hands, clean your house. Having that nice curb appeal is never going to be sacrificed for sure. Flowers and grass, I'll tell you, we've had enough rain out there and some sunshine. So everyone's grass is looking good. When you're pulling up to these homes to view these homes that are going on the marketplace, they are shiny and new. And again, shiny floors and clean walls. Michelle, say something about that again, as more and more families maybe are at home for another few more weeks here. The things that they can do, again, that curb appeal never misses out.
No, yeah, curb appeal never misses out. And And, you know, I'm going to link that right back to, I traveled for the holiday, and, you know, homeowners are taking those extra steps to make sure the house is clean and in good order. Travel accommodations, people are taking those steps to make sure the house is in good order. Lawn and gardening supplies, I believe you can buy those again. You know, so yeah, I mean, if you've got time over this holiday to put yourself in the best possible light, look, you're still going to get, with relatively low inventory, if it's at the right price, you're still going to find yourself into a bidding war, just because, like I said, we went into COVID-19 with low inventory, now we're through it. We have an inventory problem. Not a lot of people are comfortable making a move. I've got plenty of home sellers right now that say, yes, I'd love to sell, but I'm just not comfortable having that foot traffic. So they're spending that time right now working on the interiors and making them nice and fresh and preparing the way. So, so just do what you can with the time that you've got, really make the best of it. I think a lot of us are doing that naturally. At least maybe that's just the hope that I have in humanity, though. I don't know.
Now, what can you say to buyers out there that, like you're mentioning, bidding wars, where they might get frustrated, right? They might lose one or, you know, like that house or two. I mean, can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. That is, here we go. You're going to make me talk about something I didn't think I was going to share with the world. And here it comes. So
she's readjusting.
You know, competitive bid situations, and a lot of home sellers are wanting to run it, quote unquote, for the weekend or for a couple days to sit back and collect offers and multiple bids. One of the things that I'm doing to help a lot of those buyers is I'm saying, no, we're going to come in with a strong offer, and we are clean and we're financially strong, and we're not going to wait 3-4 days for you to take it. We're going to put a contract deadline on it of, you're going to accept this within, you know, 8 hours, or we're going to rescind the offer, and then we might resubmit it during the multiple bid situation. Otherwise, my buyers are going to keep hustling because we're working with strong buyers that are in a position to write great offers. So
Michelle, what do you say to a seller who hasn't sold their house in 25 years? They put it on the market and they're getting all this attention, and then they say to their realtor, hey, listen, I know I've got 4 or 5 offers right now, but I kind of like it's kind of sexy. I kind of like having people come and see my house because, you know, I'm feeling wanted. I want to have as many people walk through my house as possible. I've had that happen. What do you say to people like that?
Not now.
This week.
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting dressed up to go out on a date, you know, do you just want to keep dating, or do you actually want to, like, you know, go home with that one person? I don't know. That's when, you know, that just seems to me.
Go, Michelle. You did your homework.
That's when
I'm keep dating.
I'm gonna stay out of this.
You know, what's the point? Are you here just to peacock and showboat, or are you here to sell your house? You know, I mean, that's
when she says, please see the deadline clause in my contract. Thank you.
Yeah. Drop the mic. That's it.
All
That's
right. There's dessert after dinner. It's just now you just can't keep eating dinner, right? There is dessert eventually.
We're not here to showboat.
That's great.
Hey, flattening the curve out there. That's what we've all been doing out there, and we see a lot of good results from it. Hopefully everything's moving in the right direction. It was really interesting to see the economy sort of really go to a quick stop, and now it's just starting to jumpstart. You know, we put it on pause, now we hit the pause button, and now things are rocking again. Michelle, we're really excited for the next half of the year. Give us some final thoughts here, just a minute to go.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts for the year. Right now is a great time to get top dollar. Right now is still a great buying opportunity right now. If you have the confidence and the peace of mind that your agent that you're working with is going to stay safe, then you're going to be in a position to win financially. On the sell side, you're going to win on the buy side. Work with a market-specific real estate agent and work with Capital Mortgage, and you're solid.
There you go. Hey, Michelle Saward, eXp Realty. For our whole panel, I got to let you guys all go. For Harry Glanz, Becky Alley, John Kolb, Lisa Lawson, Roberto on the board, along with Jim here. I'm Harvey Freed. Keep it here.
Happy Memorial Day.
That was great. Coming up with sports and social commentary.